Alright, I am going to go over citations with you on the reverse DBQ project. Sometimes citations can be a struggle for some of us, and we definitely don't want to be relying on a citation machine because they just don't always do it the correct way, and they have more information sometimes than what you will need. So this works cited instructions will go over how you should cite something, so if you forget the order, you can look back through this. And again, this is where people typically lose the most points. And again, more often than not, well, one, if you don't include it, you're going to lose points, but two, it's those citation generators that just don't do it the proper way. So we want to make sure that you have everything done correctly. This is everything you'll need from your page. If you're doing something special, a book, a video, something to that effect, you may want to talk to me about how to cite special things. This citation is going to go over how to cite a web page, which again should be the predominant type of citation for most of your sources. Sometimes you won't have an author. If you don't, you just move on to the title. The no publisher is a little bit more of an issue. Try to avoid putting this NP there. Really, you should have a publisher. If you don't, you've probably crossed into a source that is not a reputable source, and so that would probably be one I wouldn't use for the project. So if this is a question of yours, go ahead and ask me that in person, show me the site. We'll just clarify that there isn't a publisher. Sometimes you won't have a date of publication, and so you just put this small n, small d, to abbreviate that there wasn't a date. Again, this isn't going to happen very often. Normally we can at least find a year of publication or a year that it was updated. So go ahead and ask if you feel like you're missing something. Here's the layout. Again, author's last name, first name. You're going to have the article title. It needs to be in quotation marks with a period. You're going to have the title of the website that you're looking at, or the magazine, whatever it might be, followed by a period. The publisher name, which is typically at the very, very bottom of your website. The date of publication. The word web is just signifying that it is a website. That's the medium, so you'll always put web there, again, unless it's print, or unless it's a video, or unless it's an interview, something to that effect. And then the access date is just the date that you last looked at it on the internet. So just in case something's updated or taken down, it's letting you know what the last date was that you visited that source on the site. You do need to pay close attention to where the periods are, where the commas are, where you're going to use quotation marks, and where you're going to put italics, and then your dates should always be in research format. And if you abbreviate a date like February, you do not have a period here, so you need to be kind of careful about all of those things, and again, those are areas of point loss. Here's an example. I'm going to go ahead and do an example here with you just so that you can kind of see what it looks like. If I were to do my project on whether or not Angelina Jolie is an awesome person, and I'm just doing this to be silly. I love Angelina Jolie, so I just decided to pick her for today. Then I would find this article. It's from the New York Times. That is a reputable place. Let's say I want to use this part of the text, so I would go ahead and take that part of the text and put it into my template. And so I'll just kind of set a couple of things up over here. If you are a box person, there's a couple different ways to do a box. I normally just do it like this, but you can draw it in if you want. So I'll do it for a box person, but you do not have to do a box. And we're going to put the citation there in just a moment. I'll come back to that. I'm going to go ahead and put my text in. There we go. And I would say in italics, this is an excerpt of an article that originally appeared in the New York Times. Okay, and that would let me know where it came from, what it is, all of that good stuff. And then I need to go back up here and do my citation. And so I'll go back and look at the website. First, I know that I need my author. Her name is Kara Buckley, and this is called Angelina Jolie Unbroken. So I will put Buckley, comma Kara, period, Angelina Jolie Unbroken, And then I know that it comes from NY Times. Again, that's what the website is called, period. And then we'll go back and just double check our citation style. And you can see that that should be italicized. So I need to go back and make sure that I'm following that rule. Italicize that. And then I need to figure out who my publisher is. So I'm going to go, and it's again normally at the very bottom. I can see here the New York Times Company is the publisher. New York Times Company, and this is written on the 13th, which is today. So that works. So I'm going to put the New York Times Company, comma. There's one of your only commas. I'm going to go 13 Sept 2017 period web period, and then your access date, which it's not always going to be the same date, but sometimes it is. And so there's my access date. And that is the complete citation. So again, it doesn't take very long. It was easier to do it that way than to plug it into a citation machine, come back, copy, paste, fix it all up. And that gives me everything that I need, and I would be on track to get 100%. So this is what your, whoa, I don't go that way, what your source pages should look like. If you want, again, some of the kids like the box to be just so. If you want to make it look just like the College Board has it, there you go, looks pretty. You can keep it centered, or you can kind of put it like that. Again, as long as all of your sources are done the same way and look the same way, you're good to go. So that source page is done, except for I need the author's last name to put up here. So I will go ahead and take this out right here. If I can use my mouse correctly. I'm going to put Buckley in there, and then I'm good to go and ready to move on to source B. If for some reason I didn't have Kara Buckley, if I didn't know her name, then I would probably put the title, Angelina Jolie Unbroken, or New York Times, something to signify that source A is shortly referred to as this. Author's name is always the best way to do that, but if you need to do it in a different way, you can always use the title or the website just as your shorthand reference. And so that is everything you should need to know for documenting a text source. I'm going to go ahead and do an image source. The citation is just a little bit different, so I want to make sure that I show you that. If you look back in here, the last page of this goes over how to cite an image. And so an image, you're going to, if you have a photographer, put the photographer's name, the title of the work if you have it, or again, something like cartoon, something to that effect. And it is italicized. Don't ask me why. It's just a little different. You're going to put digital image so that we know that we're just looking at the picture on the website, not the whole website itself. Then again, same thing, website title, website publisher. Again, neither of those are italicized in this case. If you have a publisher date, put it. If you do not, you'll put the NP web, so we know it's a website, and then you're going to put when you accessed it. So again, sorry, you would put ND on this, not NP. Sorry about that. If you can't find some of those things, abbreviate. Sometimes our images just don't have as much, and again, some of you aren't going to take your images from quite as reputable of a website. And I always need a little reminder on picture citation, so I'll even probably go back to the page. So I found a picture of Angelina I would like to use here. It says the photographer is Patrick Demarchelier or something to that effect. I don't know if I'll spell his name correctly, so I'm just going to copy that one. I'll go ahead and put my little table guy in here. Source B. There's no exact order your sources have to go in either, just to be clear. They can go, images can come, whatever, however it works. I'm going to put Patrick here. And then the next thing that I need is the title of the work. And so the title of this is just Angelina Jolie photographed in Malibu. We're just going to call it Angelina Jolie. Oh, sorry, that'd be in italics. Angelina Jolie photograph in Malibu. And again, sometimes you have to be a little bit more creative with these. It's a digital image. It is on Vanity Fair's website. And Vanity Fair is published by Condé Nast. So I'm going to put Vanity Fair, Condé Nast, and then it should have a date up here. I'm fairly certain I saw a date. The article, July 2008, so there's no month there. So I'll put July 2008, web, and then my access date, which is 13 September 2017. And then I have everything I need, and that signifies that this is a image citation. It's a little different than the other type of citation. And then again, making my box. I need to get my picture in here. Go ahead and get a picture. Put her over here. And then I just need, whoops, I don't want to do that. Just need my italicized my little byline. Sorry. Okay. Alright, and that is everything that I would need for source B, other than I want to go up and put that it's a photo. So you can put either thing. I could put the author's last name here, but it's nice for someone to know that that one's not going to be a text one, so you can just put picture. It's okay if you have a couple things listed as picture, cartoon, however you want to put that. You can put image if you'd like. So that is everything that I would need to do my image citation correctly. So right now I have two sources in here. They are done the way that they should be done. Everything's sourced right, everything's labeled right. Everything's in here that I would need to be doing to be on track to get a 100%. So as you go through, continue to fill this part in with either the author's name or a description of the source, and then you'll put your source letter. You can put this on the page, or you can decide to put it at the end in a list, or you don't have to put it in a box at all. You can just put it on the page without the box. You do have to have this line. That's not an option. You do need to have that line explaining what it is, and then you need to have your text, and just a reminder, it cannot go over one page. So please keep that in mind as you are copying and pasting as well. If you have any issues, let me know. The website links should not come up anywhere in this project, so you definitely don't want that to be part of your project. And then we will pick up with making sure citations are done correctly and making sure that you're ready to go with writing and you've found reputable sources. We'll talk about that more next week as we continue with the project. Please make sure to access the student examples and the works cited resources. You really shouldn't need to use a source generator. I promise it's not a difficult task.